All right, guys. Hi, welcome to podcast number 2. Got myself, Justin Weeks, and the amazing Bill Campbell.
Let me get my seat properly.
I don't even care. Get in there.
Get in, you'll see.
Get in there.
All right, I'm ready. Well, hold on, I'm comfortable now.
You fixed your
I think I'm good. You may proceed.
All right. How was your week, bro?
It was good. It was good. We finished up some projects this week. One of the important projects was one of our clients opened up a new PT office.
Yeah.
And
it was amazing.
It is.
And a sports complex in there.
Yeah, sports performance.
Sports performance. That's great.
So that was pretty awesome.
What was the square footage?
A little over 6,000 square feet,
Nice.
I think it was.
It was amazing.
It is, and we Google-fied them.
Yeah.
So we got...
That's a new word. Did anybody start that?
I'm sure.
Google-fied. Let's go. I haven't seen it.
Everything's going to be fi.
I haven't seen it on Reddit yet, so it doesn't exist.
Yeah, exactly. Trademark.
Trademark.
So we Google-fied it. So basically what we did is we installed a sound system. So they wanted... Originally, the talk was a wired sound system, which was $14,000. $16,000. And
I don't know why you keep trying to give him a $3,000 break.
I know.
I know. I remember that number. It was insane. $16,000.
And that was for, your amplifier, your receiver, wired speakers in different zones, and be able to play from your mobile devices.
It was like Bluetooth?
Bluetooth.
Or would you have to manually hook up an iPod and create a playlist?
Well, you could do that as well, but then you could also use Bluetooth.
Oh, you could?
Or Apple AirPlay, whatever it may be. You could do it from your phone.
Because you remember, the old school one was you had to literally buy an iPod, create a playlist, and
hook
it up.
Oh yeah. We still use that with some phone systems.
Oh right, with the Wave.
The one client in Laurel that we had to do it.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Yeah, that was interesting.
That was interesting
character. And then we standardize on Ubiquity for our wireless, and we put the wireless system in there.
Wi-Fi 6 coming soon.
Screaming wireless.
They're flying.
So it was good. It was everything was finished, checked off. Today was opening day.
Yep.
So congratulations to them. Congratulations to us for finishing another project.
Right.
It's their 5th office now.
5th office.
So hopefully we'll get more. Hopefully it'll boom.
Hey.
Not that I want anybody to get hurt. or need therapy, but
right. No. I mean, it's that occupational therapy plus the sports complex side.
Yeah,
the sport performance in the batting cage.
Batting cage. You amazing. Know where I'm going to be.
I know where you're going to be. I know. I might have to visit our other client 2 blocks down the road, and then just And
give me another hint.
What?
There's so many clients. Give me another hint. Down the road.
Right down the road in the same building as Northrop Grumman or whatever.
Right.
Yeah,
I'm with you.
Yeah, because it's right down the street.
Yeah.
And just say I'm there and go ahead, and especially when they get that squat rack up. That's going to be epic.
It is going to be.
Because,
there's 2. There's going to be 2, and then in between them, there's storage. They had it up once already.
Oh, they did?
They put it up once so they could put everything else around it. That was the center point of the square.
Right,
and then they tore it back down again.
Why?
Because I think they were missing a part.
Oh, you can't have that.
Yeah. Not on any piece of weightlifting equipment.
No.
But yeah. So it's good. So it was rocking. That was done. Other than that, launched 3 websites this week.
Right.
We got awesome. another one on the board that we're going to start working on.
Definitely.
Just been working a lot on that and SEO. We haven't seen each other in 2 weeks
not
very much in 2 weeks.
Not very much in 2 weeks. What do we have? What else? We had 2 email migrations to Office 365. What else did we have? Some other crazy stuff. Bringing on a new client, deploying new PCs,
going
optimizing
to DC during
ice storms. That was great.
Yeah.
What else? Just other random crazy stuff that we had. Some other small projects deploying.
And yesterday was
what? Of course, vulnerability scans. We were doing
vulnerability scans, vulnerability assessments. All that. And yesterday, most important day of the year, right? Love Yourself Day.
Love Yourself Day.
And I loved myself.
I bet you did.
I did. I love myself. How about you? How was your love yourself?
I love my wife. She got most of the love.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that, and we make little baskets for the kids.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, they got their own little kids. Their own baskets. Yeah, they got their own baskets. She made them. She's epic, bro. She did. Hand designed it and stuff, just brought the arts and crafty stuff, and she just stayed up and put hearts on them and drew on them and stuff like that.
You have an announcement.
I do have an announcement. Oh yeah, we did announce that.
Let's hear it.
Having my blank child.
Ninth child. My
4th child, yeah.
Congratulations, brother.
Thanks, brother. So we finally, we put it on social media, so If it's not on social media, it doesn't exist. So we finally made that announcement.
Yeah. Or if it's, never mind, I won't go there. Yeah. No, congratulations.
Yeah. Thanks, brother.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
We will keep the sex of the baby secret for now.
I mean, so we got the full sonogram in 2 weeks, 3 weeks or something like that.
So in 2 weeks,
we'll really know.
Maybe we'll make announcement B.
Maybe.
I say we, like I'm part of your process.
I mean, you helped me name what child? What, the second and the third one, or not Carlos? Dude.
No.
Yeah. Which one was it? Was it Caleb? Caleb. You helped me name.
Yeah,
Caleb.
we did that. One to the client we were just talking about.
Right, we were
on our way to that client.
Yeah, picked it out. Bang. Done.
Boom. Done. Went back and forth. It was you, me, and your wife, but she was on text.
She was through text. So yeah, we were all coordinating together.
Yeah, it was awesome. Epic times, brother. Epic times. That's
stuff.
how we should do everything.
And that's how we do it.
Funny enough, we've designed, not as by comparison by any means, but we've designed logos over text.
We have.
Yeah.
Wow. We've done a lot of things over text.
Yeah, I was in Delaware visiting my sister, and I'm texting with our graphic designer. And boom.
Done.
It was
simple. But shout out to Teams.
Oh yeah, big shout
out to Teams.
Microsoft Teams.
If you do not have it, get with it. I'm trying to tell you. I mean, how we've gotten so much done in the past 2 weeks.
It's insane.
I don't know. I mean, I think we team certain things when we should be texting it, but
you can't text. You're one of those 1 in 5 million that don't have an unlimited data plan.
Oh wow!
Oh, did you hear that bus coming through?
No, look. Okay, you have unlimited talk and text. It's just the data stuff.
Is it texting data?
No,
it's not.
No, they took that out.
Oh, well, all right. I'm either going to show my age or I'm not up.
Oh no, I remember when you used to have like what was it like? You have free text after 7? Remember that?
I don't.
You don't remember free text after 7?
I've always had an unlimited plan.
They didn't have unlimited.
As long as they've had it.
They didn't have unlimited back then. It was free text after 7.
Maybe I didn't even have a cell phone. Maybe I saw a beeper.
Yo, maybe you had that. Maybe you had that phone in the middle console of the car, bro.
Like in the back of the limo.
Yeah, but the middle console,
the car phone with the cord.
It was it was Bell Atlantic. That's what you.
Hey, shout out to Bell Atlantic.
Shout out to Bell Atlantic.
Verizon.
No, that's AT&T.
No, oh, it's AT&T? Are you sure?
I don't know, bro. Everybody.
Shout out to whoever you are now. That's so funny when you watch the movies like Miami Vice.
Dude.
He's all chill, cool, looks cool, and picks up his phone with a cord on it. Or it's like a big ass freaking.
Dude, how did people
fire extinguisher?
How did people not break their necks? I know people have neck problems because of that.
Potentially.
I know, because my wife used to have a certain bag that was like 20 pounds heavy.
Her purse?
Dude, I know there have to be problems with that. Like, I know people who've done that for years literally have problems. You have to. It wasn't conventional.
My purse is not 20 pounds.
Your wallet was.
My wallet is about 20 pounds.
This was the guy, that had the protruding wallet through his back pocket. But it's fine.
Hey,
we got you. We got you, though. We got you covered, though.
Yeah, we did.
We got you covered.
It's funny. I used to make fun of minimalist activity.
Right.
But that works.
It works. It's perfect.
I don't have to pull this brick out of my back pocket.
And then your hip is a lot better because you're not sitting.
I can walk straight now. I don't walk like I'm a gangbanger, just with a little
a little bit. It made you a little hard, though.
I was wondering, why do people always tell me I look like I want to fight when I walk?
Because you had a 20-pound wallet in your back pocket. That's why.
Right, I had a little foot drag.
Exactly. All right.
So I appreciate that, bro. Yeah,
of course.
You gave me like another 10 years of walking. I appreciate that.
Sheesh. At least. Bare minimum.
That's funny as hell.
All right. So what are we getting into today?
Oh, so yeah. So we said we're going to choreograph the podcast, if you will, if I can use that term. In the beginning, we're just going to talk about, catch up, whatever it may be, current events, whatever. And then we're going to pick a topic that we're going to talk about.
Right.
So this topic, tonight, this podcast, we're going to talk about customer expectations, customer relationships,
right,
customer accountability, and all those things kind of wrapped up around there because it's important. We've experienced a variety of different relationships throughout the time we've had the company.
Especially in COVID. I mean, and what's changed? What have we done differently in COVID, and how we've manage expectation of bringing on new clients, and a lot of clients have grown or transformed as well. Like what communication they expect from us.
Absolutely.
So we're kind of going to go over all of that, and how important is communication when it comes to. I mean, we're going to talk mostly managed services and marketing and just as an MSP, but how important is communication in that regard?
Yeah. Are you asking me a question?
I'm asking you a question.
Are you asking me the question?
I'm gonna pose you the question, Bill Campbell.
Pose me the question. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Critical. I mean, communication, regardless of the relationship, if it's a client, a customer, your spouse, your family members, communication is critically important.
Right.
You have to be able to communicate, and communication comes in a variety of ways. We know this, but talking with clients in particular, it's critical. It's really, really important. But going along with that is not only communication, but setting expectations.
Right.
And we'll give some examples, and we'll talk about some of the things that we've experienced. But let's talk about ways of communicating. Right. So,
and what we do, like, and definitely managed services, if we really take that apart and take apart the process of the communication, right? I mean, a lot of time the client puts in a ticket or they have an issue, right? So they're starting the communication a lot of time as agitated. So how do you?
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes they're pissed off. I mean, it could be something totally different. It doesn't even have to be your fault or something simple, but they could be pissed off from home.
Right. Well, I mean, the first thing is don't ever take it personal.
Right. Don't ever take it personal.
Everybody has bad days. You have bad timing in your days. But you can never, ever in IT or in any business, take it personal. It's not about you. And specifically in IT, you're always the bad guy.
You're always the bad guy. It's always your fault.
It's no matter what it is, whether you have control of it or not, it's your fault.
Right, exactly.
Fix it. It's broken.
Right.
Okay, I can't control the internet, but fix it.
Fix it, definitely.
Right. We're going to talk about some stories there as well.
Right.
But yeah, it starts from, I mean, that's a good example. People putting a ticket in, they're disgruntled, they're upset, they're frustrated, they need to get their work done, or something's not working for them. You just have to handle it like it's not a problem. I'm here. I'll help you. What's going on? You're like triage, figure out what it is, try and get as much information as you can. But that goes back to day one of working with your client and the onboarding
onboarding process. I hope you were going to touch on that.
Critically important. Yeah, because you have to, what are the expectations? What are the client expectations? What are we expecting of them? What are they expecting of us? What is the process of getting support? What happens if you don't get support quick enough? What happens if you have an emergency? All those different things is part of the onboarding process. And I can tell you, doing a good onboarding process is going to make the life of the relationship so much better. And
it can extend the life of your relationship with the client.
Well, it's going to extend the life of your relationship.
Yeah, definitely altogether. I mean, we had it where definitely we dropped the ball on onboarding,
Oh, yeah, of course.
And it was, I mean, in all excuses aside, but we were crazy busy. Sometimes so many things get
because it's reactionary instead of being proactive.
Exactly. A lot of it's crazy. We get new clients, old clients coming in. Hey, the sky's falling, all at the same time. Yeah. Plus, we already set the expectation everyone on board. So we got that client coming in. We're not onboarding properly. We're not setting those expectations. We're not having those meetings. We're not touching base with the clients. We're not really truly grabbing the concept of what they want fixed and how they want it fixed. Because what we think and how we can fix it can be totally something different than what they expect and how they want to operate.
And that's why it's so critical to say, hey, look, here in the agreement, here's what's laid out. Here's what you get for what you're paying for. Here's, the tiers of support. Here's what the cost is.
Exactly.
Response times, all those things that should go in an agreement need to go in there, but it's not black and white. And, anybody that knows us, it's not binary. It's not black and white. We say this is our agreement. This is what we do, but we do so much more because it's about relationships. It's not about, that's why we don't do contracts.
Right.
Because contracts has that negative legal, connotation to it.
Exactly.
And I never wanted that. So we do agreements. We have to agree upon what services.
Right.
You're going to agree to pay us, and we're going to agree to provide this service and this level of service and these services. So, but from day one, and that onboarding is really important for communication. And along the way, you have to communicate. You can't expect to communicate once. Like if I tell you, hey, bro, I don't like when you do that. And I tell you one time. And then a year goes by and you did it 10 times.
So what's a good frequency on that? Like how often should you, touch base with the client? How often should you have those those meetings,
I think it really depends on the client, but a good baseline would be quarterly.
Yeah.
Some client, it depends on industry, it depends on clients, it
Right.
depends on what you agree on, what industry that client is in. If
Right.
they're something that requires, like if they're open 24 hours a day, or if they're in healthcare, or if they're in manufacturing, whatever it may be, if it's a government contract, right?
Even if it's like just directly just sales. I mean, because I remember back in the day when I was selling, I would have it where I would just touch base with old clients that I have already sold to, and then guess what? Boom, a year or 2 years later.
Yeah,
hey, I need a new thing, but I can tell
different
you
communication,
different type of
sales
communication,
right? So,
but still that high touch,
right?
Definitely high touch. You want to make sure you continue to touch the client.
Absolutely, I think a good baseline would be quarterly,
Right.
every 3 months, and it doesn't have to be a formal thing. You don't have to write up some big document. You don't have to sit down and do an hour meeting. And these days, that's frowned upon anyway, right? With
Exactly.
COVID, so you don't have to do an hour Zoom meeting. A simple email, simple phone call. Or you should be going and stopping by the client anyway if
Right.
they're in your vicinity to do
Right.
FaceTime, and just take 5 minutes. Hey, how are we doing? Is there anything we can do better?
Exactly.
What's going on? Give us some feedback. Hey, how did this situation go? And it doesn't have to be everything. You just want feedback on certain things. It doesn't have to be completely formal, or it could be.
And here's one of the easiest questions to ask that have gotten so much more business out of our existing client base. What are you planning to do in the next 6 months or year?
Mm-hmm.
Boom.
Yeah.
Boom. Oh, we're planning to do this. Oh, we want to do this. Well, we're bringing on more people remotely, so we're trying to figure out some type of tool that can help us do that. Okay. Awesome. A lot of times, most people don't even know that your client will go out and research other things because you aren't asking the proper questions. And that's how other companies
come in and swipe your clients.
Exactly, and do what? Drive the wedge. Exactly. I'm stealing your words that you taught me like I don't know how many years ago. They're driving the wedge in between you and your client.
Exactly.
I mean quarterly definitely.
Well, one thing, this is, and we talked about the wedge, and for those that don't know, the wedge is a sales or selling process that I like to follow a lot.
Right.
And basically, and not from a sales point of view, I kind of do it, I don't want to say backwards, but invert it maybe.
Right.
And I ask those questions about our clients to ourselves.
Exactly.
So if I look at our client, I say, if I was going after another company's client, what would I be asking them? Not even going after another company's client, but if I was targeting another business that I wanted to do business with.
Right, or a new client. Yeah.
Right, or a new client. What questions would I be asking them if their IT provider's taking care of them?
And let's be honest, we're always competing against other people
Of course
for the existing clients. I mean, it is what it is.
Right. So I would ask those questions about our existing clients and then say, hey, look, are the backups being done? Are we checking them? Does the client know their backups being done? Does the client know the frequency of their backups? Does the client know what the restoration process is? Or how do we restore it? Does your client know what your internet speed is? These are all the things that the client should know about their infrastructure. It doesn't have to be detailed and technical.
Doesn't have to be.
But
like, we have this many servers. Blah, blah,
right.
Blah, blah,
if they should, but they need to know the servers are up to date, they're patched,
Exactly.
and there's no security vulnerabilities
Exactly.
that can
and
be
here's
found.
here's your vulnerability report that we offer. And
Exactly.
We're giving you, and we're going reviewing.
So we ask those questions, to our existing clients, just in case. Well, one, because we want to make sure we're effective, but two, if another company comes in and says, "Hey," and our client could be like, "Yep, we got that.
Right.
Oh, we don't do that. Well, this is the reason we don't do that.
Right.
Da 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 da. We're covered.
Or let me ask my guys and say, "Hey, are we doing this?" Oh,
Exactly.
A lot of times we are.
Well, most of the times we are.
A lot of times we are. Most of the times
But
we
we're
are.
not perfect.
But we're not. No, definitely by far.
Well,
We've lost.
close.
No, we've lost clients. It happens. Definitely does. But if you're doing that, are you bringing? I know a lot of people like to say, "Hey, we're bringing lunch and we're bringing gifts and stuff like that." Or to be able to continually do that as a business owner, are you saying, "Hey, you're doing that," or you're going to leave that to a tech? Or do you see like the value of a client success manager or an account manager? Or what are your thoughts on that?
On having a client success manager? Again, it's not my default answer, but it's going to be default here. Is it depends, right? It depends on your industry. It depends on your company. If you can afford to have one person that just goes out and does client visits and their only job is to be an account manager, go for it. That's good customer service.
Right.
I don't work that way. I think it's a waste of a salary. I think, I mean, and you know my theory on staff and employees and team members, everybody should not focus on one single thing. Everybody should be cross-trained.
Exactly.
Everybody should know a little bit about everybody else's job.
Right.
This case, you know, somebody's out, other people can fill in, and it just makes for a well-rounded team. Not saying you have to be a master in every area, but you should have a familiarity with it.
Exactly.
So I don't believe in a dedicated account manager or a dedicated success manager. I think everybody should be doing that. Now, I know that doesn't make sense in every company, but you should have your managers or your office manager act in that role.
I think your text as well. I mean, it should be, hey, how's everything going? You know, just doing rounds. Even if you're there to fix one simple thing.
Exactly.
Always do your rounds.
Always
do your rounds.
You go fix one thing, even if you're going to drop something off, you're there. Take the couple minutes, do a walk around. We call it rounds.
Yep, do your rounds.
Do your rounds and look at it, make sure everything was good. You get FaceTime.
Yep.
They know you care.
Exactly.
And if there's any little problems that people didn't get a chance to put a ticket in, you're knocking them out.
There's a lot of the times we pick up on those things. Though this has been broken for 3 months. We call this extension and it goes to XYZ.
Right.
Well, what? Yeah, I've told somebody else. Okay, you didn't tell us.
Right. You may have told your manager.
Exactly. Or you told somebody else in the business, but they didn't, they got busy and they didn't tell us. So now guess what? That person's pissed off for months that, God, I can't stand these guys. These guys don't do anything. Right. I've had this problem for months and they don't do it. All it did was we finally were just in that practice at that time. Hey, how's it going? Blah, 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 blah. Conversation. Hey guys, did you guys know that this is happening? No, we didn't. All right, cool. We'll get it fixed. Done that night.
Right, but that goes back to exactly what we were talking about: is communication.
Exactly.
Right, it's communicating with the client. Is, we're not in their business every day.
No.
They got their own world that they're dealing with, and things are gonna fall through their cracks. Maybe they have bad management. Maybe they have green management. Where they're not experienced in management. Maybe they got great management. It doesn't matter. Things are going to fall through the cracks. Things are going to be broken. And they're going to be like, oh, let me just put this aside. I don't need to worry about it right now. And it goes for 3 weeks or it goes for a month. So when you go on board, your job, my opinion, as the IT provider or the managed service provider or the IT manager.
Whatever service you're providing.
It's our responsibility to make sure their technology is tip-top shape, optimized, and secure. Plain and simple.
Done.
So just because you're not getting paid for it, or just because it's not your job, or just because you're not there to do it, doesn't mean anything. Take care of your client, and communicate to them. Hey, just so you know, so this doesn't happen for 3 weeks, or this not. Go ahead and put a ticket in. Here's how you do that. Or just give me a call and we'll put a ticket in for you, or whatever it may be.
And I don't even think here's a success story. I don't think I told you, but
I'm keeping secrets again.
Yeah, probably. Probably. So, I mean, we had Karen, she's in our office manager in accounting. She asked one of our new clients, like, okay, how do you like the way the invoices are coming in? How do you like the payment system? She actually got some feedback.
Really?
Yeah. And
am I gonna be upset?
No.
Am I gonna melt down in the middle of our podcast?
No. It's actually pretty good. So they're like, hey, I like it this way, blah, et cetera, et cetera. I think it'd be cool if we could do this. Just gave some little feedback. And that's the type of stuff we're looking for. Always looking to improve.
Exactly.
Always looking to improve. Just always looking. Like, it took literally 2 seconds to ask that question. And guess what? Now we can provide a better service.
Exactly. But now, and that's great. The caveat to that is, understand that we're saying, and that's a great thing, but you can't do that all the time.
No, you can't,
because you have to have standardization.
Exactly. We can't say, hey, we're going to change our payments, how we send out our stuff just for you. But
right.
But
if it's something small and little, and it doesn't go against our consistency.
Then fine. Yeah, we'll take care of it. But yeah, I just thought that was awesome that she asked that question.
That's great.
And guess what? We got something out of it, and they feel like they're special.
It's all about the little things, man.
Exactly.
And I'll tell you what, when we were in the Marine Corps, we had a saying that one oh shit kills 1,000 attaboys.
Exactly.
And that's how it is in the IT world. Everything could be perfect. You are everybody's best friend, laugh and joke and everything, and the internet goes down, and you're the worst.
It takes that one outage. It takes that one outage.
One time.
Or another third-party vendor.
We will not blast any third party.
Yeah, or a third party vendor that you have literally no control over.
Well, right. I
But,
mean, we can't control the internet. We can control all the on-premise stuff,
Right.
but literally we cannot control the internet.
so you could be rocking and killing it, and then something like that happens, and then bam, you're out.
But that goes back where the communication is.
Exactly.
If the partners or the business owner, or the CEO, whoever it is, CFO is looking down and there's no communication to that person, the internet's down and it's IT's problem, right? They don't understand that it's out and they don't care, right? But if there is that line of communication that says, look, you have to understand as a business owner, as an executive, that there's layers to your business and that, X, Y, and Z happens. Because if not, then if you don't have an understanding, you're just going to throw blame and then you can potentially cause major issues with not just your IT provider, but other providers.
But this is, I mean, it's getting crazy with COVID because a lot of the times they're not sitting next to each other. So the internet in the building went down last year, the year before, right? Hey guys, the internet down? Oh yeah, it's down. Oh, we just called Balancelogic. Oh, they're fixing it. Okay, and then that person just walk around and they'll kind of tell each other, hey, was the internet down? Oh yeah, we're getting it fixed.
Right.
Boom, right? But you communicated that to either the owner in addition to the department heads. Guess what? Internet's down at the main office, or there's a third party maintenance or something happening on one of the cloud providers. None of these guys are going to know. Right. How are they going to know?
Right. And that's why we changed our procedure where communication is we're going to send an email. Well, first, let me back up. A lot of IT providers, but it's Comcast, it's Verizon, it's whoever, not our problem. Call them. Right.
Oh, exactly.
We do it a little bit different. Call us. It's down. We'll call the vendor. We'll talk to them. We'll put a ticket in with them and we'll, triage the problem and help. We can't mitigate it, but we'll help triage the problem.
Exactly.
And we'll communicate.
And keep you informed the entire time.
Exactly. That's what I was getting at. We send an email to the owner, to the practice administrator, to the office manager, whoever it may be,
right.
All the levels. Here's the progress. Ticket has been submitted. Here's the update. Here's the update for this. Oh, it's been 2 hours, 3 hours, whatever it is. No update from the vendor yet. Let you know when we get in. Just constantly update them along the thing because...
You know how much that means, though?
It's crazy important.
It's crazy important. Especially in COVID, just because a lot of these guys are not next to each other anymore. But you have to expand that. And I don't know if a lot of you guys are, but you have to see, okay, who are the key people? Because it's not sometimes just the department head. It might be, that number 2 guy that's in the department, that can say, hey, they're really important, or the department head's out. You don't know that,
Right.
But if you got, multiple people in the department that you can give that information to, then they'll, disseminate it, especially with the mobile working,
And all we can do is communicate.
That's all we can do.
We can't control clients. We can't control their management. We can't control how they manage their company. We can't control their employees. We can't control their processes and procedures. All we can do is follow our onboarding process.
Exactly.
Follow our process and see where we can make improvements. But communicating to the client is the most important thing. You can't do much past that. We can't fix the internet. We can only do so much. So it's trying, and it's hard. It's very difficult to help the client understand that your abilities are only X, Y, and Z. And a lot of people say, well, that's why you have contracts. Well, that's great, but that's just a basic understanding, right?
Right.
That's black and white. It's binary. It's not human relations. It's not,
right, exactly.
Their internet is down. And for some people it kills their whole practice, or their whole business can't work, or
right.
The remote workers can't work because they can't get in
exactly.
to the server. So it's having some compassion. It's having understanding. It's not being a tech guy and just washing your hands.
And some people don't have the capital that calls for all that redundancy,
Right.
They can't spend all that money just in case,
Right. Exactly.
They can't, But I'm gonna take you to the other side of that. A lot of the times where we did our jobs really, really well and we fixed stuff beforehand before the client even knew, right? So at that point,
the purpose of managed services, proactive,
right? So at that point, they're sitting back and they're like, "Well, why are we paying you guys? Why do I have this service? I never hear from you guys, or I only hear from you when something's break. What are you doing that's proactive, right? So how do you communicate that? How do you continually show your value to the client that, oh, we're actually doing these things. Oh, we mitigated that. Oh, we saw these patches come in. We did that. We came in on the weekend. We saw the server was being maxed out. We upgraded the server RAM, or we did this. You know, we removed some crazy programs that were on it that are outdated, especially Java. I hope you guys are getting that. They need to do that.
And hold that question one moment.
Sure. Right. So on the other side of that, so how do you keep? And it's something that we've done too, because a lot of time we can't get that face-to-face time. You know, we can't do rounds a lot, you know, because of what's happening with COVID and things. So how do you continually say, hey, we're doing this, we're doing that, we're taking care of you, we're looking at you, you know, we're looking at your stuff even when the stuff is not broken. So how do you continue, you know, to just keep touching with the client like that?
It's a good question, and I think that's exactly where the quarterly reports come in.
Exactly.
Take care of your quarterly reports, update them. If you can't get there all the time, that's fine, you know, but we have phones, we have text, you know, always communicate at least quarterly on updates, major updates, what's going on, major installs, major updates, major software, major vulnerabilities, whatever it may be. Pick up the phone every couple weeks.
Right.
Hey, just calling, we didn't get a chance to get there, whatever it may be. Just want to see how things are going. It's like any relationship. You want to continually talk and communicate, but it's important. A lot of MSPs will use the MSP software, their RMM, software, remote management software,
right,
their
whatever
solution,
it may be.
Right? And they'll do it, and they're proactive, and they fix problems, and that's great.
And it can be perfect.
And they get that question: hey, why am I paying you guys? I never see you, I never hear from you, and all my stuff's working fine. Well, that's great. Well, that MSP is doing a great job, other than they're forgetting the most important part.
Exactly.
The biggest challenge with MSPs is that you're doing what you're supposed to do. You're fixing it. You're being proactive, which is the whole idea of managed services. And the client's not getting anything out. There's nothing tangible. They don't see you. They don't feel you. They can't. All they're getting is your invoice, right? So it's critically important, especially if you're like an out of state. Like we have clients that are out of state. We can't always go there. Right? Like I'm not going to Florida every week, but we still take care of that client. We're going to call them. We're going to shoot them an email and say, hey, how's everything going? Whatever it may be. But that's the critical point is communication, because you can do a semi-par job and not always be proactive, and be proactive sometimes and reactive other times. But yet if you're communicating, the client's still happy.
Yeah, they're great because they're like,
they know what's going on. They're informed.
Like, wow, they just fixed that. They just fixed that.
Exactly.
They just fixed that. I mean,
but it took them a week and a half to do it, but they did it.
Yeah, depending on the company, you know. But they did this, and they're always knocking these things out. It's amazing. It's epic, you know. Yeah, it's great.
It is.
You know, but it's such a hard line just to be like, okay, what is too much? You know, what is and we fall into this pit sometimes too, where we're like, oh, we'll just do that. You know, it's a favor. It'll literally take me 2 seconds to fix this thing or knock this out or roll out this solution for you. It'll take me 2 seconds. Like, I'm not going to invoice you for it. Don't worry about it. You know, right. We're trying to continually add up, you know, those attaboy points, or continue to add that value, or we just don't see it as a big deal.
We want to overservice.
Exactly.
That's what I call it. I call it overservicing. And I know where you're heading. And we have 1 or 2 handful of a client.
3 or 4.
Yeah, a handful, something like that. That we
I'll blame
have
that.
This challenge.
I'll blame those on you. Those are the long term
spoiled brats of the, and I say that in a good way.
Yeah, they're spoiled. They're spoiled.
But this is a problem, and it's a challenge, and it's if you're over servicing and you're setting the bar so high,
right? Because
you don't want anybody to take that client. It's a favorite client. You've built a relationship over a decade.
Yep.
You're just going to do whatever it is to make them happy. The problem is that the bar is set so high you can't provide. Your ability to provide better service is gone because you're at your limit. You can't.
There's no way possible. Unless you literally pay someone to be on-prem.
And even then, it's not, because when you have 5-minute response times, and you're solving server crashes in 30 minutes or less, or an hour, or you have a ransomware attack and you're up and
rolling
running
it back,
in an
deploying
hour,
backups,
I mean, and the air conditioner drips on your database server and fries the motherboard, and you get a phone call at 7:30 as your alerts are coming off that the server's down. You get phone calls frantic. Hey, we can't get into this. And by 10:15 a.m., the database server is changed with a motherboard replacement.
Yeah.
That's unheard of in IT. But we do what we need to do, and we try and do that for all of our clients.
Exactly.
But some of our clients the priority is not as important to them. So, but yeah, so it's a hard thing when you set the bar so high.
Right.
It's hard to compete with that.
I know, and then
you're competing with yourself.
Right. I know. When you try to, I probably fall victim to this more often than not, because I'm just like, I'm already in there. Like, let me do this, let me do this, let me do that.
Right.
And then we sit back and we have these meetings that we go over. Like, all right, how's IT doing? What are we doing? I just did this, and this. And you're like, you just did it? I was like, yeah, I was already doing this project and blah, blah, blah. And I was
and
already
at the end of the month, you're like, that was like $2,000, bro.
I was like, exactly. It was like, dude, you know how, like, seriously what that was? And I'm just like, crap, because so many things literally just come so easy to me, and it's just, I can knock it out, right? Or you're like, dude, that's billable hours. Right. Do not forget the value of your time. If you say, throw it out there, each hour is $165. That's what you're valued at, right? For you to sit there and do something else, or what else could we have been doing? What else could we have been doing? We could have been managing our employees. We could have been having, meetings with our employees and having, exactly. We could have been brainstorming.
If you take that time over a month and say it's 5-6 hours,
exactly, times 165.
So that's $1,000.
That's a lot of money. So falling into that trap is.
But it's hard because you're really. I don't want to say splitting hairs, but you're really diving down in pricing every minute of your day,
right.
Which sometimes is not. Yeah, maybe if you had counted all that time up, it would be an extra $1,000 in revenue. But guess what? You just nickel and dime the hell out of that client.
Exactly.
You're only going to have that client for a couple more months, and your agreement's going to
expire, and they're just out of it.
And now you lost more than $1,000 a month.
It's so hard. It's so hard.
It's a handoff.
Exactly.
But it's a call, and I always lean towards better customer service.
Exactly.
Because I'm not in business to make millions and millions of dollars. It happens, great. That's just the cherry on top.
Exactly.
But when I set out and started the company, it was never to make millions and millions of dollars a year. It was, I love what I do. Yes, I want to make money. I want to make a living, but I want to start my own company. I want to do X, Y, and Z, right? And build it over time and this. But it was never about, I'm going to make millions of dollars. So that's that's why we go into a client and say, look, it's about customer service. It's not about let me nickel and dime you. If you need a keyboard here or a mouse there.
Yeah, and that's why we on the more chance than not, we just call each other or shoot each other a text. Hey, what do you think about this? You know what I mean? Or I'll kind of give myself a scapegoat. Like, let me get back to you on that one.
I already did it, but and then I'll ask you too. Oh yeah, I just gave him some.
Yeah, I was like, I already did it while I was in there. So what do you think about it? You're like, no, that's actually billable. We need to set that expectation.
We do, and there's times where we work after hours. So our rate is higher after hours and weekends than it is during the day, working hours. But we never charge our. I shouldn't say that. I'm globalizing. Often we don't charge our clients for after hours because we already planned it. It's in our mind. We
wanted to knock it out. We got it done.
And it's going to make us, it's a success to be able to accomplish something for the client.
Right. Especially maybe a lot of times. All right, it's a 45-minute drive. We get up, we get some Dunkin'.
It's our excuse to get Dunkin'.
It's our excuse to get Dunkin'. We get out, we do what we do. It takes us maybe 30, 45 minutes on site. We're just talking and chit chatting and brainstorming and planning out the company.
That's our strategy time too.
Because a lot of time during the week we can't. I mean. Right. You're doing, you're running the company on that side. You're doing marketing. You're doing this. You're doing that. Sometimes you're knocking out some IT stuff when I need you, and I'm overextended.
I do some IT stuff.
Do some IT stuff. You're still handy with a keyboard.
I have a. Oh, never mind. I won't go into that.
Oh god.
I was going to talk about the new Raspberry Pi, but
no. We'll go into that later. But then I'm knocking out stuff. I'm doing stuff, and then we get together for our company meeting every Monday or something for about an hour, and that's it. But it's not enough. It's not enough for all the stuff that we do, and then most of the time we're up and 11 o'clock. Sometimes we're doing screen shares. We're utilizing Teams.
That's the best time.
Knocking stuff out, and it's crazy. And then,
I'd rather work overnight than I would during the day.
Yeah,
we have so much fun. We're so productive,
and it's a reason to drink.
Yeah, I guess. It's a reason to eat pizza.
There it is. We're drinking and eating pizza in Arby's. Oh, Arby's. Oh, man.
Those are the memories we make, bro.
Yeah,
that's what it's about, though. It's about, for me, that's what it's about.
Right.
It's not about, yes, I have, a good business sense, but for me, it's not about making the millions and millions of dollars. For me, it's about enjoying what I do.
Exactly.
Having a passion for what I do and the challenge, because it's always something new.
Right. And then one day working remote from Abu Dhabi.
That's next March. We're going to count down. I can't go this year because I don't have my passport. And you have to have a passport for at least 6 months.
Exactly.
And I got to renew my passport. So
this was this guy. Hey,
Abu Dhabi.
So how do you feel about me working remote for 1 month?
Got to do it.
Dude, don't do it. What are you talking about? Like, where are you going?
Got to do it.
I'm like, where are you going? Abu Dhabi. Get out of here. You know?
Yeah. So I can't do it. I can't do Abu Dhabi this year. But next March,
that's going to be epic.
I'm going to do Abu Dhabi. Maybe not 30 days, but maybe 21 days.
Right, whatever you got to do.
And
I mean, there's packages. I heard there's like packages where, I don't know, like on the islands, like St. John's and all that, they're giving you Wi-Fi packages so you can work remote.
Yeah.
I think my cousin's been literally out of the States or on an island, on one of the territories for
I can tell you right
6
now,
months.
This summer, I will be working from an island at least 2 weeks. At least. From an island.
Thank you for your vacation plans.
Yeah, you're welcome. I'm submitting my vacation plans right now. Well, I will. I will be on an island for 2. I mean, it's a guarantee.
Why not?
It's either going to be off the coast of Mexico or it's going to be in the Caribbean.
But isn't that amazing, though?
Yeah, it's going to be amazing.
Isn't that like amazing where we are? Like, you know, that we can do that nowadays?
Absolutely.
It's amazing.
Dude, I remember growing up in Philly, dirt ass poor.
Hold on, dude. Remember when you were like, hell no one's working remote?
Yeah. No, you know what's funny? Here's something funny. And this would be a great idea to end the podcast after this. But what's funny is how life comes full circle.
Yes.
And so when I first started the company back in 2004, the first 5 years of the company, I ran it out of my house.
Right.
Right? And that's when we offered accounting and bookkeeping and technology and web design and all the different things we did. We still offer all that except the accounting and bookkeeping. But back then, it was frowned upon to work out of your house. You were a micro business. You weren't important, especially when it was the accounting and bookkeeping part.
Right,
you had to have a commercial office space, right?
Yeah, that brick and mortar.
Or else you weren't like a
official,
real company.
right.
You weren't official. And here we are 16 years later with a global pandemic and people are pushing you to work from home.
They're like, look, and here's the part. They're not going back.
Right.
But
it's crazy. So before it was frowned upon. Now it's the norm.
Exactly.
I hate that term, but it's the norm.
It's the new norm.
Isn't that crazy, bro? Talk about full circle.
Recruiting.
People
are recruiting, and it's just like, hey, we're a full remote. If you're not remote, people are like, no, I don't want to work for you.
I don't want your cuties.
I don't want your right. What are you talking about? I want your dirty buddy. Right. Your dirty buddy where I have to go to work.
Right. It's crazy.
It's crazy. It's literally crazy. But yeah, that's where we end. I'm curious to see where we are next year, 2022. What's going to happen once everything's out the bag?
It's crazy. I remember even when I worked before I started the company, I worked in the corporate world, working with the Unix and Linux and all that, and I was like, I don't want this is garbage. I don't want to do this. I could point and click. What are you talking about? I want to see pretty pictures. I don't want to see a black screen.
Can I get a GUI?
And now, like, Linux is like, I'm really
it's king.
I'm getting I don't want to say obsessed. That's too strong. But I'm excited to continue to going. Poquito, yeah. But I'm getting excited to continue to go and learn new things with it and some of the things you can do with it. So it's just crazy how life comes 360 where,
definitely,
things change. Seasons change.
Seasons change, man.
Isn't that a song? Cover Girls or something like that? I'm showing my age.
Wow.
Hey, if anybody knows that song, who that's from.
Sounds like some indie music or something like that. Yeah,
put that down in the comments. I'm going to probably Google it before, but it's happening to be interesting if anybody else knows what I'm talking about.
Oh, man. But that's all we got for this week, right?
Final words. Any final words?
Final words.
Final thoughts.
You got like any saying or something? Any pearls of wisdom?
Yeah. My famous words that I always say.
What?
Change cannot happen without change.
What does that even mean? I'm just playing it. Oh my God, he's Gandhi.
Yeah. Hold on, let me put it. Change cannot happen without change.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's my words of wisdom. I live by it. It's true. Yeah. That, and, like I tell my son, live life by check boxes and chapters.
Yep.
And take it one step at a time.
Right.
Achieve what you want to achieve and keep rocking.
Yeah. I got one.
Let's hear it.
No, I'm just playing. We'll figure it out when we get there. I got that from Elon Musk.
There you go.
He said, hey, so what are you going to do when you get to Mars? Figure it out when we get there.
Exactly.
I'm like, dude, oh my God. Yo, sometimes you can fully overplan.
Hey, one quick story. Speaking of that, we'll figure it out when we get there. Hey, your first week with the company, what happened? What happened?
We're not gonna say
What
that.
happened,
So are
bro?
we gonna?
Come on, what happened, bro?
I'm going on vacation.
Hey, what happened?
This guy, hey, I don't know, I'm crashing networks all over the place.
5 minutes.
All right. He's like, hey, first week. He's like, you got this, right? I was like, what? He's like, yeah, you got this. This is the server. This is the client information. Blah 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 blah. This is everybody. Have fun. These like half the people don't. None of the guys work with the company anymore. We get those guys. They're all gone. And I went to one of the client sites. They're like, oh, our network's down. We got to figure this out. I'm like, oh my god. Whoever was in charge of that client didn't have the freaking documentation. They're selling the business. We're like, look, we need to get up so we can complete this sale. Multi-million-dollar company sale. And I'm just like, what the heck? And then this guy literally like, I went on vacation. I was like, what the heck? Got it back up though. It was all good.
And what happened after that?
I don't know what happened to that.
Hagerstown. That was the next week, wasn't it?
Oh, I think it was like a
That was
couple
my
months.
whole point of
That was a
saying-
couple months. He was like,
Oh,
hey,
that was a couple months. That was my whole point. We'll figure it out when we get there.
This guy, he's like, look, hey, yeah. I'm like, what's up? You want to take a ride with me? I'm like, all right, sure. All right, cool. Oh yeah, by the way, we got to configure a phone system where we're going over there. I'm like, which one is this? He's like, yeah, this Rev, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, you got to figure it out because we got to connect it to these other sites, so figure it out. Me on
when we get there, bro.
Me on my phone. All right, let me pull up the documentation, looking up this, blah, 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 blah.
We had to get it done.
Figured it out.
We did. We always do. But that goes along with what Elon Musk had. We'll
Figure it out when we get there. Just have the baseline.
Look,
just have the base knowledge, and that goes. And I know we're probably way over. We're ranting now, but that goes to one of our employees that we had, and they were just like, "Why do I need certifications? Why do I need this when I can just Google everything?"
Why? No, he said, "Why can I get paid what Justin gets paid? I could just Google all the answers. I don't need certifications." Oh, I said because Justin's got a bunch of certifications. He goes, "Why do I need certifications? I can just Google the answers." And he no longer works for the company.
He did.
I mean, you got to give me a better. If he gave me a great explanation,
he said I could just Google it.
I'm just Google it.
I'm like, okay, so if you just Google this answer, and I brought up some examples. So I was like, all right, if you just do this right for this fix, what's going to happen in this client example?
Right.
He was like, well, it'll do this, blah, 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 blah. I was like, but you don't know. We got this happening, this happening, and this happening. You literally just crashed this entire client's network.
Or that's like 5 years old, and everything you read on the internet is not true. And I think that's the note of the night.
All right. There it is.
All right,
brother.
Thanks, everybody, for tuning in.
Yeah. All right.